Okay, I have this movement partially put together with our anchor here and the pallet anchor and the escape wheel set up in there. Waiting for a mainspring for this movement, so I'm going to wait to do any final adjustments after I get everything put back together. Now, I want to just kind of start with our receiving pallet here. This will be the receiving pallet side. This will be the discharge pallet side. And we're just going to put one in at a time because I want to get the angle pretty close. Now the flat, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, the flat on our pallets is going to be angled such that if I run a straight edge along that flat surface, of that pallet, it's going to go to the center of the escape wheel arbor. Okay, what we're looking at with using the razor blade and all that is setting our pallet flat to the radial ray from the center of the escape wheel. Okay, you can see how that lines up. You can see with these lines. So by gently pressing this in a little bit, not too hard because I don't want to bend anything. I just kind of want to set that. Now we'll have to take the escape wheel out of the way. Then we'll be able to get that anchor out of there without any mishaps. Hopefully that pallet will stay where I put it. Now what I'm going to use is the staking set again, and I have a convex punch that fits the head of the pallet nicely, so it shouldn't leave any marks or any flat spots or nothing like that. And yeah, that's all set. Okay. Now if I can get this out of here without wiggling that loose. Or moving it. Okay. Now, let's zoom in a little bit. That's a good shot or not. I just want to watch it because on the one edge of my flat, I want to end up flush with the face of this anchor. I don't know if I like the looks of that. Well, let's see. Well, it's going in there. I'm going to have to get my loop so I can see. Come on, focus up. Okay. See, that's angled in here this way. Flush with the face. Put it back in and take a look at that. What it looks like in here. Now we can take a look at that a little closer. See where we're at. We're going to adjust it later anyway, but okay, we're off a little bit as far as our angle. So we're going to have to spin that a little. Okay, let's get the next one. Now our flat on this one is going to be on that side. So we want our rounded area to be towards the flat on our escape wheel teeth. Demonstrate a little bit of the action here. When this anchor is swinging, it has a little swinging motion like this. The escape wheel is turning one tooth at a time. So as the escape wheel tooth gets released by one pallet, the other pallet's going to get in the way, and it's going to swing down similar to this here. Okay, and you can see if we have that set up right, as that swings down, here's our 10% drop right here, allowing the free unrestricted motion. Swinging down, missing behind that escape wheel tooth, and that's why these teeth are dished out, and locking on that escape wheel tooth to the apex of the round part of the pallet, just like we're seeing over here. Okay, that's the design. This would then swing away, impulse in that area, and then release as this one drops in like this to lock the escape wheel. Yeah. Let's just press that in a little bit. Okay, I want to double check that one. Pretty close. Gonna need a little adjustment too, I'm sure, when we're done here. Okay, same process. Take this apart. Okay. Tighten that up. You guys can see that or not? It'd be boring if you can't see anything. see if there's a possibility that it's going to work. Okay, now we can kind of test it here. Get my finger on there properly. And I can see I need an adjustment here already. This pallet, like I said, needed to be turned in a little bit. And we'll look at that one. I'll probably do that right now, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we set the pallets. Now, how did I adjust? You know, I didn't even think of it as I was working on the clock. I just went ahead and did what I needed to do, and I forgot about videoing it. So basically, when I set my this receiving pallet in, it was off a little bit. I have these needle nose pliers I've modified for small things. Anyway, they're smooth jaw and tiny, so they can get in there. But anyway, that's what I use for adjusting these steel pallets. Now, don't use this with pressure on a jeweled pallet. You'll break your jewel. So on these steel pallets, since they're press fit, basically getting in there, holding everything, and giving it just a little bit of a spin. And that's how you would adjust steel pallets in the anchor. Same with this side. If after you've set it, it needs a little bit of tweaking, go right ahead and give it a little turn. Okay, make sure that the pallets stay firmly in the hole that they're pressed into. If not, you may have to come up with some ideas on how to make sure that they stay set, solid. Your jeweled pallets will be shellacked into that hole. And what you would do is warm up the pallet with a solder iron till that shellac just melts a little bit, and then you should be able to make that adjustment and make sure that it is straight up and down, not tipped in any direction. You want it straight up and down, and then of course having our flat set in at the right angle. Okay, well, I had a bent tooth too, just a little bit I had to mess with. So, well, with power, with my finger on the escape wheel pinion, which isn't really a good way to do it. We've got action. Appears to be locking at the apex of the pallets. There's clearance. Now that I straighten that one tooth out. And got good potential. So the test will be getting the gear train all together and putting the mainspring in there and trying it under power. So for now, there we go. I'll be back with a final little short clip on this thing running. All right, here's our escapement in action. Okay, another angle here. Look, we're getting good positive lock to the apex of the pallet a good action, good even action on both sides.